The new family drama Hollywood Heights is heating up weeknights on Teen Nick. Brittany Underwood stars as Lauren Tate, an aspiring songwriter whose life changes overnight. I have Brittany on the line right now to tell us all about the show. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It is so great to have you on the show today.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, before we get into the actual show, I want to bring it back to the beginning. How did you come across the auditions for Hollywood Heights?
Okay, well, I auditioned for, when you have an agent and a manager, they send you out on auditions, and came across this one. Actually knew the casting director was a friend of mine who said that when he read the role, he immediately thought of me and called me in for it. And I showed up, and he told me exactly what they wanted, and I made adjustments on the audition based on that, and went for producers and booked it.
After reading the script, did you feel like this was the perfect role for you?
Yeah, there's definitely, I read a lot of scripts just going out on a bunch of auditions all the time, and there's always those scripts that you're just like, oh, I feel so connected, and I can totally picture myself being this, character, and I just am in love with the writing and the story, and this was definitely one of those times. It's so unfortunate. You try not to get so attached to a role when you go to audition for it because, 9 times out of 10, or whatever the odds are, you don't get that part. So it's so, disheartening to get so attached to a role before you get it, but I kind of couldn't help it with this one, and I felt so I have to play Lauren.
But could you relate to your character Lauren in any way?
Oh, absolutely. I remember I've been singing and acting in plays ever since I was little, and acting never really gave me as much stage fright, but I also did musicals, and every time that I have to sing, it was also different during a musical because you're a different character. But I remember I was singing in school and singing at church and just in the city, and it always kind of gave me these really crazy butterflies, and I would get all shaky, and I never ran off stage like Lauren did, but I definitely remember wanting to. So when I read about this character, I could totally relate, and I was like, oh, I know exactly how she feels, exactly what those moments feel like, and so it was totally relatable.
On the topic of music, do you see yourself doing that sometime in the near future?
I actually do. Through the show, opportunities have come to me to kind of pursue a music career, so we're kind of in the middle of getting that going, so hopefully that takes off. That's
great. Well, Cody Longo co-stars with you as Eddie Duran. What is the chemistry like between you two off camera?
It was great. When you first meet someone and you have to play so intimately with them, it's always interesting, and you never know what you're going to get. But it was cool. We also didn't start out working together, really. We kind of had separate worlds within the show, so we didn't really get to hang out as much. But once we started working together more and more, we worked really well together, and we had a good time doing the whole thing.
Now, throughout this entire process of filming season 1, what have you learned from your experience?
What I've learned? Well, the thing is, this was such a taxing role, only because we had such a crazy schedule, and I had been used to the schedule of soaps and working a lot, but this was more intense than anything I've ever worked on before. And I even did the soap and a college career at the same time, and that seemed like a lot, but this was somehow even more. So I learned that, I have a lot of strength in me, and that I can memorize lines a lot and still get into character. And I learned, dealing with different people, you always learn something new and how to go about certain things and certain situations that come up that maybe you would think, oh, I can't do it, but once you get that strength to kind of overcome it, you learn so much about yourself and what you can accomplish and how much you can accomplish.
We actually received a bunch of fan questions for you.
Oh, really?
And I picked two of my favorites. It was hard narrowing it down.
Okay.
But the first question comes from Allie, and she is wondering, when you were a kid, did you ever imagine falling in love with a rock star?
Thanks for the question, Allie. Let's see. I don't think I ever did. I think that I always thought, it'd be cool to sing with one or be one day. I don't know if I ever thought that I could, but I mean, I totally get that concept, and so many of my friends did. I think that I just never thought that I could. And then looking back, like now, it's so, not every day, but like it is possible. Like my life, I never thought I'd have this life and the opportunities that I've had so far and met the people that I have so far. And I actually ended up becoming friends with some of the people in Lifehouse, which like I grew up listening to them, and then so like they came on One Life to Live, and I became friends with them and started hanging out with them, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so crazy, like it just kind of happened. But like growing up, I never thought that was even like a possibility. Right. I mean, they just live in like a different world. Like I didn't have that even incentive, like, oh, that's a possibility. But like it totally is. You never know. Like you just never know where your life is going to take you. It's just kind of the beauty of it, Right.
And it's so weird how things turn out, and it seems to be working out for you.
Yeah, I can't complain.
All right. And the next question comes from Mel. And she wants to know, has the show turned out everything you hoped it would be?
Has the show turned out everything I hoped it would be? I mean, I had an amazing experience doing it. I don't think I could have gotten any closer to a group of people in that short amount of time. And, I mean, I'm still in touch with them outside of the show. We still get together and see each other and have nights where we all hang out. So I think in terms of having a new family, which is exactly what I wanted. Like, I was working on a show, like I said, for 5 years, and I had a family there, and when I came out to LA, that's all I wanted again. I wanted to have that family, and, I was able to have it again and make those great relationships and learn a lot and be working for a long time, so that was really awesome. And, I think the fans have responded really well to the show, and they really like it. So I think that's the best I could ask for. I mean, I have so many girls on Twitter reaching out to me and saying, you inspire me, and look, I've written these songs, will you check it out, and, you motivate me and make me think I can do it, and that is such a good feeling to know that you have that effect on someone is so rewarding, and I never even thought of that as being something that would be an outcome from the show. I didn't even think about that, so having that response to the show has really been amazing and kind of the best reward I could ask for from it.
Even kids, you're just a great inspiration to those who have dreams just like you. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I try, and I mean, I do read the songs that they DM me, and I try and write back as much as I can. And I want them to be able to have these opportunities. Like my friend has a recording studio, and so I reached out on Twitter, and I was like, hey guys, like for those of you writing songs, like, write me on Twitter, and I'd love to have you come to the studio, and I'd like be there for your recording session. I'm trying to like give them an opportunity to make those dreams a reality.
Right.
Not just to have them. Even there's so many talented people out there that just never get that shot. I think that's the most unfortunate thing. I mean, now we have shows like American Idol and The Voice where like people are given those opportunities, but it's so hard. You know what I mean? So anything I can do to help them, I try,
That is amazing. To wrap things up, I'm going to ask the question that is on everybody's mind who has been watching Hollywood Heights. Will there be a season 2?
I wish I knew the answer so bad. I want it. I know that everybody who's done the show wants it so bad. Just keep showing the support, and hopefully they get enough people to stand behind it that we can do another season, because I know we would all love to do another one, and I know if we did another one, we would get the fans involved even more. Hopefully we could have our own songwriting competition. I know that'd be great, and I think it would be a really fun experience for everybody all around, fans, cast, and crew, if we got to do a second season. So I'm hoping for it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I hope everybody else is too.
Awesome. Yes, we are all definitely crossing our fingers for season 2. But until then, I want to thank you, Brittany, so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course, yeah. And for all the fans watching right now, don't forget to catch Brittany Underwood starring as Lauren Tate in the new family drama Hollywood Heights, weeknights on Teen Nick at 8/7 Central. Until next time, I'm Zack Tremblay. Thanks for tuning in.